Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one, we are returning to Monkey. That's right, Wukong has been buffed. And those of us who remember, I don't know, was it end of season 4, mid-season 4, season 5, Wukong used to be quite a staple in the jungle. Not so much in recent memory, and even they tried to rework him, turned out to really do absolutely nothing 2 years ago. But now, with a good 1 second reduction cooldown on his Q, some AP ratios to his E, and the dash ability over walls with his W, viability? Let's find out. Obviously, Wukong has technically worked, you know, in low elo, mid elo, and had some kind of success recently, but overall, really not a hidden pick, not something that's kind of, you know, OP and underused, underrated. It just was trash. End of story, trash. But now, we have a lot of things happening, and pro players are basically saying, listen, this could be a meta jungler, S plus tier jungler. High elo and pro player will have different perspectives, but if he's good there, he's gonna be good in low elo as well. Now, the 50% to 80% increase to monsters in terms of your damage from your E is huge for your early clearings, because obviously we need to maintain some kind of parity with meta junglers, either through ganking or through farming. Now, because Wukong's ganks pre-6 are not exactly, you know, supreme, he needs to have a bit more farming to compensate. So, we're gonna start on the blue here and go for a Giga Smite. As always, go check out our friend Phalaris for the full-on, you know, maximized clear on these champions. Wukong, Lilia, Nidalee, anything that was buffed or changed recently, he will have all the good tech for you. Runes on your screen, as you would have seen. We found out that Wukong can actually run conditioning and flinching. So as I look at it, Cosmic Insight and Booties, I did have a game where he did have conditioning and unflinching. I was very excited. I started off VOD reviewing it, and then I realized that there was a brainless amoeba in the bottom lane, known as Yuumi. And the dude popped off and did very, very well, but I just couldn't use it because Yuumi is the one. I refuse to cover a Yuumi when the jungler pops off. Because you're just getting free stuff that Yuumi doesn't have to think at all. I hate it, and I will not cover it or support it whatsoever, as much as I can help it. You know, sometimes if I'm really in need of a replay, I'll go with it, but ugh, get away with too many things for free. Hopefully you're just watching the clear right now. We can see that the monkey is now on the Raptors, and then we're going to shoot on down to the red. We're at 248, 249, 250 completion. The Jarvan is obviously what we want to keep an eye on. Whoa, just as the hook comes through, that was a max range hook. We should be looking on this using our F keys. You can cut your clear short. I know we want the red, but you can cut your clear short should you want to do this kind of stuff. Now, him getting a leash on the top side sequencing down is important because he's going to be matching the direction, there you go, of the Jarvan. So if our bot lane is not able to be ganked, and this crab is not able to be secured, give it up now. This, from my, again, just clicking camera perfectly, you know, using the F keys and clicking, I think you can, but I don't in the replays, I just click. Yeah, good awareness there. We kind of knew that was gonna happen. So as Wukong, you really do need to pay attention to those kinds of things. I am seeing a bit of questions, a few questions rather, about do we 3-camp gank, do we 5-camp, do we 6-camp? I think in this particular situation, a 5-camp is perfectly fine considering how slow it is relevant to meta junglers. And then you can look bot, you can decide, do I have pariah for, you know, getting this crab versus enemy jungler? Can I double scuttle? Can I cut across mid lane? There's a lot of just typical openings that you look for, but in this particular situation, obviously our bot lane chunked, hooked, no sums, going back to base. You know Jarvan's heading in that direction. Just do the crux and go back to base and go topside. You know, it's no problem. Jarvan does a good job of obviously double scuttling. Elawi versus Camille Gaming flashes the E, which is good. Very, very good. Now, the Jarvan, so as we see the Jarvan coming to the top side, I just started waffling too much. If you know they hit the plant here or you know the scuttle's down, there's a possibility that they would see your approach. So the control weight here is huge in terms of seeing the vision, but we really don't want to be hanging around. As soon as you see the Jarvan, you want to be bouncing and leaving. Because you know Katarina mid MIA as well. We use a W there to get over the wall and get away. We have been yeeted with the soul sucking of Elawi. Camille decides to go in here. Katarina shows up is going to get a kill. Wukong is going, I got out, so you should have gotten out, which is technically true. Technically very true, but Jarvan at this point has obviously gone back to base. He is now topside. We can basically track his CS knowing he's done nothing else really from his jungle. So all his camp seconds spawn are up because he's got 24, 25 from the ward. And now he's running through this to the mid lane. Lissandra obviously has E. How much is she going to greed for this? If she dies, I will be annoyed. But obviously he's used to EQ flash already, so there we go. And now basically for us, we just go back down to the Grump here. Wukong, and I like this because a lot of you are asking, like, what if you don't get, you know, necessarily a couple kills early and you have to play it a little differently, this is it. You know, you are still a huge level 6 jungler. So with the farming buff on your E there, obviously looking at the max, obviously 3 points in Q with that 1 second, that's nice. We see here Jarvan again. No CS taken, straight down mid lane, chose again bot lane. We know that this counter jungling is available. He's going to go for this dive here. This is scan. Clear it, please. Jarvan, here we go. Lantern. No, he wanted to. He wanted to, but he knows that's definitely too deep. Wukong now tried to go mid lane, cleared the ward, protected, knows Jarvan is on the Krugs. Let's see what we can do about this. You see? Good rotations. Just a bit of map presence is all you really need in these scenarios as a jungler when you don't get things going, because you are a level 6 jungler, and with the farming buff, as I was saying, you can use it to get 6 sooner. Jarvan here, really, 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 really greedy. Yeah? I mean, that was nice. If you intended to give it to the Kai'Sa, that's nice. This is great, because you could, in theory, just go counter jungling, right? Okay? You could, in theory, go counter jungling, but that's where you kind of need to think about what kind of champion you are. If you're a Karthus, sure. If you're a Shyvana, okay. But Wukong, you know, you want 6, but you still want to be active. And that's the most important thing here. And especially when a jungler's overcommitting and you know he's here and you know you can all collapse and you know that the mid lane is not a factor. Huge. And of course you have, you know, CS advantage. Now, Jarvan dies, so Jarvan's level 4. Jarvan will have to come out of base, all tier 2 campers plus a second red. We've now done our second Krugs, our second Raptors, Wolves, and Gromp. We will have some cash monies in the bank in terms of 1,000. That was a Sheen Rush, of course. Can't go Trinity Force, Divine Sundra, Gold Drink is a bit of eh. Uniquely, Strikebreaker can work against high mobile comps, and that's one of the games I saw, but objectively it's not really good choice, it's just kind of real situational. But Divine Sundra, Black Clover are the ways to go. Camouflage, Knockup, W. Do we have ult if we need it? Yes, we do. Wait, yeah, no, we don't. We don't have ult. I lied to you, sorry. Shyvana had no ult, I was waiting for the follow-up, but more than enough CC chaining. The double knockup 2 years ago when they put that in, really, really nice. Really, really nice. I like that. So here we see Jarvan has done his Krugs, has done his red. We can simply add 8 CS to the 25 he had, so now he's got 33. So we rotate to the top lane. We have Camille Pryor rotating as well. Ults him into position. Wukong goes dashy into his clone, and down goes Jarvan, who now, if you're not a genius, wait, block it, typical, who now we'll be going to the bottom side. Hopefully most of you can understand that. So as Wukong, you can basically, right, I can steal the Raptors, Blitzcrank shows up, so no. You can simply take these juicy plants and absorb them yourself into your soul, heal up, and do the Herald if you want. But then you're going to give up a lot of prior in terms of farming experience, dragons, red steel, and bot dives. So what he decides is to not do that. Ilawi is spanking this tower because she watched the main channel video on spanking towers. And if there was a character in League who could do that, it's her. We go to the, what is it, blue. I was going to say red-blue, and it almost came out as Relu. Blue, Gromp, heal up, look to see if we can do anything top lane. Decide if you can or cannot. And he has decided, no. Nope, nothing, don't want to do anything about that. We see the Jarvan moving down as I said. Now you see, of course, the 41 CS, so you can kind of track, all right, the dude went from 33, we add a little bit more, another 8, so he did the bottom side scuttle. Excuse me, I hit the mic. Bottom side scuttle, as well as the bottom wolves. Do need to, you know, I don't like it in screen, but maybe I can get some Giga Shock Absorption, which I just really haven't done because I'm a little bit lazy about it. So he's not actually on the dragon here. I'm busy talking about shock absorbers and not paying attention to the game. So here we go. We see him. He knows we see him. The Blitzcrank does what Blitzcranks do when they're on your team, not against you. And then Jarvan goes bot lane for a super EQ ults. We're stuck. We're stuck. And we get the kill eventually. Kai'Sa's kind of over chasing, trying to kill the Jarvan. Doesn't happen. Wukong now says time for some monkey business. Goes straight to the bottom lane. Katarina's roaming. Misses. But again, bot lane not having fun. They do now have prior for this. You do have the ping here onto the Herald, which I think is a bit of a... there you go. I think there was a bit of concern that Alawi might have been doing it. Or maybe they thought Wukong is on it. Yeah, I think they probably just thought Wukong was on it, but... You know, if we were tracking it a little bit, I'm sure at this point you'd know it's not yet down. Oh! Yes! Excellently done. Excellently done. We have a round of applause. Yes, very good. Yes. And we get another Spunk double kill. We don't have ult, obviously. It's down. I'm just looking at the rest of the cooldowns. We're going to live! We live! Beautiful. Beautiful. W over the wall to yeet a steal into basically a double kill free from money. Thresh does save us. We get the clean up from the Lysandra. Thank you so much. Very nice. over the wall here into the red buff. That's what Wukong can do with map scaling. That's what map scaling does, ladies and gentlemen. And map scaling on a jungler like Wukong is insane. You already had camouflage, right? You already can simply use Warrior Trickster as it is, but now you can Warrior Trickster around known vision. So your approach angles just go up the stonks. They're basically the inverse of the entire crypto market at the moment. Top lane pushing in a negative game state, which, 2-level lead. Hands up if you've been there, all of us. We want to be strong enough so that we can actually do something about this. Looking at the ult again, she flashes out. Blessed triumph. Man alive. Oh, there it is. There it is. Wait, no way. Woo. It looked for a second like he might try and go for the Grump, but then he would have been hit. So we see that go wide. The Grump is still available. He could have gone straight for it, and I think that's what the Jinx was aiming for. So good thing he didn't. And now we can yeet this, get some healing back up. We do have the Herald plus the Crab here. That is a focus we want, but Lysandra hath died, which is a bit unfortunate. Although we have a huge lead on the Jarvan right now, and she's going to TP in, so we do have fresh buy for that. Blitzcrank still bot lane here. We do want the Herald pre-14. That is something you want to aim for. And as I said, there we go. There's Jarvan in the bot lane, abusing the bot lane. I mean, he's dead. Wait. What a lovely ADC, just doing the good work there, saving the Threshy. And she TP's bot, because she can't handle this, and she will need to obviously reset if she doesn't reset. Obviously, she's got 500 only, so we're fine in that regard. We do take this and capitalize on this now. What you can do is defend against the Alawi on the top side, or you can shoot up and basically steal the Raptors in red. But because we're running real tight on time in terms of what is actually smackable for plates, we're going to go mid lane here, because this will be at the perfect 2.5 mark by the time you hit it. All right, which is absolutely huge. The Divine Sandra doing a lot of good work already. That's true damage onto all the final 2 plates. You can bust open the map here. Way better than invading the red and the Raptors. If it was like a 9-minute Herald, 5 plates, shorter spawn time is in the game, more volatility, then yeah, you could just go do some counter jungling and save it. But this time it's perfect. You can bust up in the mid lane, turn into the ultimate. Beautifully done, but we're not able to get anything, obviously. Second Nopka comes through. Q cooldown coming in real big at this point, especially seeing as that gets reduced. Both and it's up again. Beautiful. Huge damage, good turn, and that's the kind of stuff you don't see in low elo, right? They'll be running away, and they won't know that they can go in, get multiple channels of abilities off, a lot of bonks. The camouflage is huge. You know the double knockups are coming. You know the limits of your champion, and you know how to abuse it. So we're at, what, 400 there? We just doubled it. You just doubled your healing and as well as your damage. Now again, we can't help the top lane, unfortunately. That is a Fed split pusher. Hull Breaker. Broken item. Broken item 100%. Really disgusting, and I hate that it still exists. Lantern into some gaming moments. Bonk him? Bonk him? Okay, the bonking did no damage. I thought it would do more, but it absolutely did not do a lot. So for scaling, just so most of you know, as I said, we go from 5.7 to 4.29 with the haste that we have. Base is 8 to 6, all right? So that gives you a relevant sort of a measurement there when we look at the haste in our itemization with 20 haste, as well as the 10 haste in the Caulfield's Warhammer, plus the further 10 in Kindle Gem. So just a kind of reference point, as I'm still struggling with that, honestly. Like, ever since they removed CDR, and I don't think they should have just changed. I'm not even going to get into it because it's not relevant whatsoever, but it's still not as logical and innate as CDR was in terms of the mind, you know what I mean? And it's very easy to deal with 10%, 20% off. When the scaling shifted so much with ability haste, it's less easy to kind of comprehend, but whatever. Back into the game. At a base, we have here one dragon, and we want the second one now. We do have no Herald on the map. Blitzcrank's going to go down and deal with the Scissor Lady, who's getting Tentacle Lady. Robots added. This is just like a good comic that one might find on the internet. Jarvan with a stupid lazy pathing and a good cutoff by the Thresh and the Wukong, and that's what I talk about in coaching. No objectives on the map except for one coming up. Someone's over split pushing. They're going to be collapsed on. Rotate in that direction. There's no reason for you to be there whatsoever. And when you're fed, the wall dash. The wall dash. That's huge. Normally you'd have to walk all the way around, right? But now, Wukong can now dash through terrain using W Warrior Trickster. And the cooldown, by the way, 4 seconds and max value is reduced. So we're currently not seeing the benefit of that, but that will go down to 7.5 seconds when we eventually get around to it, so later in the game. So you can do some really fun things with a lot of haste in your itemization. Obviously, kill conversion ratio, take those, kills and convert them into, objectives. And now, obviously, there's nothing on the map. Blue side is secure in terms of the enemy's blue side, except for this one showing up. Kai'Sa's now super split on the top side. Jinx is going to show up. We're worried about the Jarvan showing up again. Fall back to your jungle here, but do be wary. You might want to shout a little bit if you are strong in isolation and your team don't really need to reset. So the worst thing you can do here is kind of fall back into a lull while your team is looking for things. So he basically shadows just to see. Everyone's resetting, and now he's going to go base. You are 11 to 9, so you could try something, but at the same time, that's where games are thrown. So we go back to base. We finish Black Cleaver, plated steel caps, and now we have a Giga Chain Vest in our pocket. So that's the kind of spike we're sitting at right now. Lissandra kills the Jinx. Ooh, that was a little bit close. Blitzcrank is stonking with the Illaoi, so losing Hellbreaker passive, so he's going to actually have to bounce. There's no H there. Not actually. Krugs are most likely being yeeted. Were yeeted by the Camille, it seems. I thought, yeah, my mind's catching up. I speak fast, I watch a lot, I'm processing 18 things at once, so sometimes, I got a little bit of catch up in my mind. We're there now. Kai'Sa splitting on the bot side. We can assume there's some deep vision, especially from the Blitzcrank here. Actually, not really, interestingly. TP from the Illaoi, but we do know that there's wards here now. Wukong should anticipate that there is and that they're going up. Might have been spotted. We just want a shadow here, okay? Because we do have a 1-3-1 with a Kai'Sa, but we don't really want that, do we? No, we don't. No, we don't. What's up? How you doing? Yeah, I don't know about ulting the... I don't know about ulting... We have E up again. I don't know about ulting the... Movement speed! More speed! Oh, whoa. The bonk. You see, the bonk went through. The bonk went through. We had to go do the Jeremy Clarkson more speed voice, but we got there in the end. Now Kai'Sa can collapse here. Beautifully done. Nice flank. Take out their engage. Tank out their flank. This is a problem. And macro-wise, you do need to be able to deal with it. So don't stick here with your Kai'Sa. She can handle that. Go back to base. Your Camille needs you to take out this person who is, of course, threatening the safety of our base. Camouflage activation. All right, 40 seconds still in the ultimate, so we're not going to have that. It's just innate to keep checking, basically. I'm looking at to see what kind of cooldowns we have, because obviously with the cooldown shift and the nature of the atomization, those who main Wukong and one trick it will be fine, but those of us who are still kind of reacclimating after many years, you're going to have to get used to the new muscle memory of the cooldowns. So it's important always to, I always look in replays just to kind of get a feel. So if I have it in game, then I can kind of, it's just aiding sort of, when I'm playing, if it makes sense. That's why VOD review is good. Obviously playing is the most important thing, and I play very much from muscle memory. But in VODs, you can still have a look. Like someone uses their full combo, then you look down, you see the cooldown, right? There's a Q, and there we go again. So you can see the reduction in cooldown as it goes through from his auto attacks, and that reduces the cooldown of the Q as well. So making sure you do consistent damage in fights is huge. Okay, so now what do we want to do? We're going to go straight to the second Herald again. I love the second Herald. Wait. Attack or ability from him or his clone. Yeah, not just auto attacks, abilities as well, but also his clone helps with that reduction, which is important, obviously, because that is a part of his kit. Always with the poignant insight on this channel, stating things that are so obvious, but also not so obvious. Now, the second Herald is good because we can bust open the base. We do need a lot of pressure to deal with the Hellbreaker. So Camille's basically going to TP flank here. We're going to go for the engage. EQ over the wall from the Jarvan. He's not detached from the fight. We have a Flay into a kill on the Blitzy Crank. We have the Camille dealing with the backline there to zone them. Blitzcrank is completely out of position. They're all scattering because of that excellent TP. Good zoning. And the Jarvan, I don't know what he's doing. And now we can bust open this base with the Herald. Camille's chasing down the... Disgusting. Camille's disgusting. Chasing down the Katarina, making sure she dies. Jinx is in base and chucks an ultimate. Going to be holding with Yarvin. And we do have Lissandra going back here to deal with Illaoi. We just wanted to match inhib for inhib because you're not going to be able to base race this necessarily with them holding. The turn! Back in, forcing the flash from the Jinx. Obviously, Blitzcrank is alive, so you have to be careful. That was nicely done. Easy dash into the second knockup. Free kill. Now we're onto the Blitzcrank, and Jarvan is being... All Jarvan's been doing this whole game is running away. That's all he's been doing. Absolutely just running away. So for Nimbus Strike, what are we looking at here for cooldowns with this? 5.3 now. W is at a 8-second cooldown once we get a max with 13.33. And this is base 4 seconds flat with this current build. So the Armor Shred for Black Cleaver, great for the rest of your team, obviously. The stickiness is great for you. The haste is good for you. The health is good for you. The AD is good for you. You're seeing this be built a lot more in fighters, and that's very, very good since the last round of buffs came through. Death Stun's obviously a good secondary option. And that's about usually what you would get, you know. 2 or 3 item spikes for a jungler is what you want to think about for sweet spot. People always think about full builds. Now, fleshing out your builds, you can go tanky, you can go more bruiser, you can go more with my mortiers. If you're feeling a little bit spicy, you could in theory go armor penetration. Not that you'd really need it with Black Cleaver and not with your kit, so to speak. But 3 item spikes like right now, you know, 21 minutes is really, really good. And you want to just be in control of the game. That's it. You want to be in control of the game and able to close it out. You know, at 20, let's just say 20 to 25 with your 3 item spike, depending on how things are going. And sometimes in these games where you've really busted it open, you'll get a 4th item. And that's when you can get a GA even, something that prevents randomness from happening, allowing you to close. Oh! It's changing the game, man. It's absolutely changing the game how this works. It's absolutely changing the game. Really, really simple champion to execute. Good old classic original design philosophy. Just a little bit stat checky in certain areas, but now you've got so much more to play with because of the over-the-wall trickster. I think that's really, really nice. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. And we can rinse this down. Jinx ult coming through. Whoa, good body block. Always body block the Jinx ult when you're doing a Baron. Also, save your smite. Don't lose a smite like the Kazakhs did. That was sad. Right, back to base here. We're going anti-heal. Yeah, executioners. I wouldn't. In this game, what are they gonna heal? Who's gonna heal? Like what actually matters here outside of just raw, untainted, unbridled, disgusting damage? I mean, a regular damage item or even a stopwatch in terms of randability. You don't even need a stopwatch, honestly, in this particular game. Yeah, I'm not a fan of delayed items like this, because if you have such a big lead and you have Baron, you just want raw numbers. Like the healing you're gonna deny isn't gonna be... The healing you're gonna deny is not gonna matter, right? The BF sword, for example, from a GA, if you wanted to flex into that eventually, simply getting a good Hex Drinker or building it your Morph Mortius should, you know, they have a lot more AP threat. Again, now the Hellbreaker, like we have to base here to deal with this. Good idea that he does, because without him, I don't think Camille could do anything. Oh! Now who does it? I am the damage now. And still then, you just almost got absolutely hentai. But the rest of your team can handle the split push yourself. Now they have to be cautious. Respawn timers, she's dead, but Jinx is up in 9. We do have a TP coming through here, and Jarvan again, absolutely. I mean, I know we have Wukong, but the Jarvan's a monkey in this game, 100%. Hopefully you can learn a little bit about his position. Good repositioning from the Kai'Sa. They're keeping spacing, everyone disrupting, keeping the Kai'Sa free to play. Jinx ult does hit, but the Q comes through. Full on mega triple kill from the Kai'Sa. Well played by her. And never mind, she died, but she still played it well. Camille, yeah. Now Jinx does Jinx things, and we have another TP from the Lissandra. And Wukong's basically saying, wait for monkey. He's just gonna run it down here to get this inhib, using the Baron push as well, which is a very good idea, because you might want to push this out, but it's actually good to push this. Maximum pressure, but you're not going to be able to get anything. This isn't, like, you'll kill the Jinx because she flashed, obviously, earlier, and she's got nothing else up. We can kill here the Illaoi, but you're not going to end the game. So we've had this advanced question on stream as well. You were never ending this game. I think it would have been better spent, yeah, you kill the Jinx, but it would have been better spent to kind of detach, just take all of this, take this, catch this wave, push this up a bit, reset now, okay? And if you're building GA, then you know, flex your BF sword or your stopwatch into that final itemization. If you're going more, you do that. And then, of course, now we can go for our Dragon Soul, which is the entire point of what we're trying to get at. So the game looks run away from the gold graph in the match history below, which hopefully you will all see. Just checking the audio there. But the split push of Hellbreaker. Healing. Damage to towers. I didn't mean to click the healing. Yeah, I don't... 394, I mean, you could have just done that damage and more with better itemization, I feel, at one point. That's just how I'm thinking about it, but there's just nothing that says to me that you obviously need grievous wounds in this particular game. Right? Thresh. You got caught out, my son. Ah, but... That is the best custom team fight you've ever had in your life. The monkey goes in for a double spin whopper. Absolutely perfect. That's exactly what you're looking to do. It's nice for Wukong because you can flank in, okay, and get your knockups like this and absolutely dash to whoever you need to dash, and you keep bonking as much as you do. So keep attacking. Make sure your clone's actually attacking. Keep using abilities. Well, you know, whatever abilities you have up, and your Q will come up again and just keep bonking people down. So good sustained damage in fights, excellent disruption CC, beautiful 5v5. You can flank, you can dive, you can run in, clean up, whatever you want to do. The monkey is strong. And just for your full stats here, can you see it? You cannot actually. 4,000 damage to champions, 4,928 healing. Sorry, I make this score bigger so you guys can see it, but I just read it out to you, so that's great. Thank you very much for watching. Please have a look on the main channel for a whole bunch of videos and a new one coming tomorrow. Also on the gameplay channel tomorrow. Yeah, enjoy your return to being a monkey, and honestly, for low elo guys, if you can play like this, full clear it, flex into a crab, just get maybe 1 or 2 ganks of free 6, and then use your 6 and your experience advantage to just decimate the map. That's all you're looking to do. Make sure you're getting that Herald Dragon control opportunistically as possible, but really that Herald is the big one. Use it well, fight well, deal with the split push well, and you will have no problem climbing the trees of solo queue. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial.